Waiting for motivation to work out? You'll be waiting forever. Here's what really keeps people consistent, and it's not motivation. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Weight Loss War podcast. I am your host, Trevor. As usual, we are starting off with a quote. Today's is by Winston Churchill, who said, "Success is stumbling from to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." All right, so today I wanted to talk about motivation again, and that we all have this idea that we just need to find motivation to succeed. And I think I've talked about this before recently, maybe even, but if you're waiting for motivation to magically show up and push you to the gym, you might be waiting forever. And let me explain why. It's discipline, not motivation, that is the real secret to consistency and success. So this is why motivation fails. Motivation feels great when it's there. You wake up pumped, you set big goals, you get excited about your future. But the problem is that motivation will fade. Life gets busy, you get tired, we run into setbacks, and then the motivation that we were counting on is gone. That's why we need discipline. Discipline is the ability to follow through on your commitments even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up on the hard days, not just the easy ones. But that then raises the question, how do you build discipline? And really, it's about starting small. I talk about this all the time. It doesn't need to be some grand gesture. It doesn't need to be all or nothing. Start small. Discipline isn't about these massive life overhauls. We are stacking tiny wins. So I've talked about a couple of these things before, like drinking water right after brushing your teeth, or going for a short walk right after dinner, or prepping your meals for the next day. You don't have to do a whole week. Just make sure you have everything ready for tomorrow. Or choosing movement over the couch, even if it's just for 5 minutes. If you work at a desk all day, see if you can get a standing desk. 10 minutes or so every once in a while, just standing instead of sitting. Things like that. These things they're just small little actions, but they build momentum. And momentum builds habits. And before you know it, when we start stacking these small things and they become habits, before you know it, you're showing up consistently, not because you're motivated, but because it's just what you do. Now, I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about how environment supports discipline, because that's something that people overlook. Your environment matters. We can have all the discipline in the world, but if our environment is working against us, then we're setting ourselves up to fail. So this is something you need to do. Make your environment work for you. If you're trying to get to the gym, set out your gym clothes the night before. If you are trying to drink more water, keep your water bottle on your desk in plain view. Put your workout equipment or your shoes somewhere where you can see them. And then surround yourself with people who support your goals. Because when your environment supports your discipline, it takes less effort to stay consistent. And I want to point this out. You don't need to, people in your life and the people around you, they don't need to necessarily be doing the same things that you do. You just need to be supported by them. Married, I used to be huge. I eat less than my wife. She doesn't really listen to these because she's sick of me already. No, I'm just kidding. But she can eat more than me. She has a faster metabolism. She is smaller. Do you realize how it feels to be out-eaten by my wife, who is just tiny and beautiful? If you're listening to this, my love, supports me and isn't that gosh, I'm out eating my husband. I'm so fat. This is the worst. It's, well, my husband used to be 310 pounds. He had his stomach cut out, and he is trying so hard not to screw that up. So she supports me, and I support her with her goals. But I digress. I just wanted to point that out. You don't necessarily have to have the same goals or be with the same people that are doing the same things you are. You just need to be supported by them and support them in their goals. And whether that's a long conversation so you can discuss what it is, or if it comes naturally or whatever, you need those people in your life. And if you express that, I know anyone who is worth keeping around will do that. But anyway, let's move forward. Just have a few quick tips that'll help you stay consistent when your motivation fades. And the first is plan ahead. Know when and where you're going to work out, or you're going to prep your meals, or when you need to drink water, etc. That will help. If you plan ahead, you've already got 90% of it. Next thing is to pair habits together. If you add new habits to something you already do, like stretching, while your coffee brews in the morning, something like that can have immense results. That's, like I said, stab at hacking. Habit stacking. Gosh, I am a disaster. Celebrate the small wins. Everything you do counts. Every little tiny victory is worth celebrating. As we keep building and celebrating those wins, that gives us motivation to keep going, and those wins will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then always remember your why. Write it down. Say it out loud. Keep it front and center when things get hard. Why are you doing this? I think that's something that we overlook as well. But we're not going to get into it. I'm already running a bit long today. So remember, motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what is going to keep you going. So if you rely on your motivation, you're going to be inconsistent. But if you build discipline, you'll win the long game. You will have a higher quality of life. You will stick to your goals. You will win. But anyway, that is it for today's episode. If you really liked it, comment. Let me know one small action you can take today that will build discipline. I really would love to hear about it. Give me a message on Instagram, DM me, leave a message here, comment, like. It really does help. And I will be back next time.